I am Sai. Okay. Where do we start? Probably with this bag. Alright. This is the bag I got from John Casablancas. When I came to my first session, this is what I get. It still has that new bag smell. Okay, you can't smell it. Maybe if I get closer, you can feel what I feel. Oh yeah, that's new. That's brand new. This is definitely not a scam. This bag is definitely not a scam. Alright, let's get into the contents of this bag. Alright, what you get. It's a John Casablancas t-shirt. Signed to your size. Oh, this is a curriculum work. It's a sheet for my classes, what I have to bring to them, and what I am expected to be taught in the classes. Whatever this is. And this right here is like a dictionary. This is like a guide. TVP. Professional Workbook for print. For TV print. This breaks down a whole bunch of stuff. What you should expect from modeling and acting, what you should expect, hand gestures, things to expect when slating, posture, how to take care of your skin, yourself, this type of stance you should have, when a whole bunch of stuff, which might be actually pretty valuable. I have to read that more. I haven't. You should study that. I have not at all. Really, not much at all. You get a notebook in this, and a pen. Okay. You also get, where is it at? Alright, this here. This is pretty interesting, actually. Don't know if I'll need it. Don't know if I need it. Some interesting stuff here. This is a mirror. I'm taking it out. I'm gonna take it out right now. It's a mirror. You got a headband. That's very sporty. Pretty sporty. Alright, I get these here. These are sponges. I think they're for you're sweating, you want to smear your makeup, which takes me to my next thing. A makeup kit. Now, they say as an actor or actress, makeup will be applied to you. So, why do I need this? I don't know. But makeup will be applied. And you might need these. So I guess I have them because of that. Am I going to use them? I don't know. Cool to have. Neat to have. Alright. You get that stuff there. And all of that. Oh. Now. To every class, this might be crucial. Might be valuable. Every class, you bring this little tag thing here. It has a little code on it that you give to the desk worker. There you go, straighten up. Every time you go to your class, to start your class, and depending on whether you paid for all your classes ahead of time or you pay every class like I do, you need that to sign in and all that type of stuff. Now, talking about my first class, that's what you get. Alright, now, first class. Oh, I might as well use this thing right here break down how certain things function. Alright, so let's get right into it. My first class, John Casablancas, which says John Casablancas television print 30-week 60 hours. Okay. First session, general content, personal goals, journals, portfolios. Goals, I guess we kind of had the discussion. It tells you what to expect out of the class, what the class is. Like, first 3 classes is general, acting, and modeling. It says bring under 18 parents, stay. Alright. Second class, acting, the commercial industry slating introduction for the actor. Now, this is what we did on our first, we actually did this on our first class, which is general. We taught the instructor, broke down commercials, broke down the pay you are expected to get from certain types of commercials, like regional and national commercials, how you get paid depending on whether you are a union worker or a non-union worker. How union workers only do union work, and they get paid accordingly. They get paid pretty well. Non-union workers can do union and non-union work. They don't get paid maybe as much. They may, depending on the work, but what you're expected to get paid, the type of residuals and income you're expected to get from certain type of work, and how it is applied to you. The type of work you might get paid one time, and it'd be a small amount, even though they might continue to show a commercial you want and stuff like that. But I have audio of these him breaking down and describing how these things work, though they're like 20 minutes long. I don't really want to put it in this video, so I'll probably upload it in some other website or some other form on the internet so people can look at it, and leave a link in the description of this video when I get around to it. Figure out when I actually do that, so you can actually listen to what's being broken down. There's that. After going over what you're expected to gain from doing commercials, TV acting, and stuff like that work, the instructor then has you do mock slating and mock performances and auditions. He gives you some lines to read for 10 minutes. You in a class, lines to read 10 minutes. It's not one-on-one classes. You're in a class full of people, and he gives you lines to read, all of your lines to read. He gives you time to go over them and see how you can perform them, and get used to them, and do it on camera. And he records it. Doesn't usually keep it, but he just wants to see how you were working and you were functioning, and to see how to rate you based on on those things. This was the first 2 classes actually was this process. There weren't very many people in these they were like, the classes were pretty small. The rooms, I don't know how they are in many other places, but these rooms were pretty small. The one I was in for the first 2 classes was pretty small. There was like, I'd say 10 students with their parents. They kind of all fit, but pretty small classes. It was me, 2 other males, one kid, and one guy like 17 years old, and everyone else is mostly females. And when you do this slating and this practicing on camera, and you don't really get to see the videos. He doesn't really hold on to them, not that I know, but he does look at them to see what you should work on. That I see as being pretty useful. Even the information given prior to that is pretty useful information. But that is pretty useful. That was consisted of my first 2 classes. I'm going to jump straight to my 3rd class, and which it says on here, modeling, session 3, modeling, model stance, posture, runway walk. I didn't do any of that. I actually did a more in-depth acting, auditioning, performance, and slating performance. The instructor, I was the only one in the class at this time. I had other people from my prior classes were in the building. They just weren't in this class. I was in this class by myself, which was kind of good actually, because it was kind of comfortable. Which I want to kind of get out of the comfortable, but it was kind of comfortable to have to be able to work one-on-one with the instructor and have them tell you what you are and aren't doing well, or what you should work on. And I did that for a couple hours, from like 10:30 to 12:30. So that was pretty helpful. I actually enjoyed it a lot, seeing my progress gradually. And then the difference in this particular class with this particular instructor, she had you do things, slating, and she'll ask you to do certain she'll give you throw certain instructions at you when slating to how old are you, or what's your favorite dish to eat, or do you drive, or do you have a brother, or what's your favorite type of animal, and then you would answer those questions and you go right into the audition. And it was different because it threw something at you that you weren't expecting, and I could noticeably it would throw me off, the type of questions that were asked and the type of instructions that were given in the slating before even the audition. So that helped. That was actually very helpful. That was actually pretty useful, and I enjoyed that experience. I enjoyed going through that, especially one-on-one. That was very helpful. And another thing is that the instructor, she would show you the recordings afterwards, so you can see how you're doing, how you're performing, and see how you actually where you should improve, and how you actually see yourself in the camera, which helped a lot. I enjoyed that as well. So a couple hours of that was very helpful, and it helps you get a little bit more confident about what you're doing in the process. So that was pretty interesting. That was the most that's actually the most described about the first 3 classes. What it says here is my 4th class, which says business. It says audition procedures, slate and copy techniques, TV acting skills. Now I don't know. It kind of feels like we've been over this in the first 3 classes already, but I like to see how that works. It does say to bring 3 to 5 monologues for Sunday, and by the time this video is uploaded, it's Friday. I haven't gotten any of those monologues done. I'm assuming you have to practice them. I don't have any, so they're not gonna like me. I have to work on that. Yeah, gotta work on that. Must be printed or typed for instructor. And there's that. I gotta get that done. Come to my 4th class. So I'm gonna read just the rest of these off of here. What they say: modeling, comp cards, mirror exercises, resume writing, JC bag and notebook, personal development, makeup application, nutrition, hair, and makeup items. So shoot prep, photo shoot, modeling, shoot prep, and this is going through down a couple classes, and then most everything else after that is more graduation prep and graduation. It's a little bit more extensive than that, but I just want to run through that right quick. Okay, now, pretty interesting. I want to see how this plays out for the rest of these classes. I want to see how they play out. I've enjoyed my first 3 classes. There's something I have to say about the 2nd class, a discrepancy I have with what happened that day, that morning, and kind of a negative to me. And but more so, I enjoy these classes. There are laughs that be had in these classes. People are, they're acting, they're modeling, they're actors, models, or they have intention to be so, and so they come with a certain type of character and personality that's actually pretty fun and interesting to be around. So you enjoy likely the people around you. Do you get into conversations with them? Well, not very often. The classes are pretty, so you don't really get the time to really know each other. Get to know each other as much. You don't really have time to get to know each other as much as you would like to. But fun personalities to be around. All right, now. My 2nd class, when going in there that morning, the instructor was late, and having paid for 10:30, having paid for 10:30 to 12:30, and then having an instructor come in for 45 minutes late. That's a waste of my time, and it's very unprofessional. I did not like that at all, considering how quick these classes are supposed to be, or rather how short these classes are. Rather, they're pretty short, and for that valuable time that's necessary that it's necessary that you be there on time, and that I did not like that at all. Very unprofessional. It was kind of chaotic that day, and parents were coming up to me and asking, students were asking me, what's going on, or what class are you in, or I was like, I'm trying to figure this out because I pay money for these classes. So the parents are like, well, can I, come with you to the office to talk to whoever is supposed to be responsible for what's going on right now? I'm like, yeah. So it was kind of annoying to have to deal with that, especially so soon in. That's kind of annoying. My time is so very valuable, especially when people are spending money, and that undoubtedly not acceptable, just completely unacceptable. So that I didn't like. Though other than that, the experience has been pretty smooth, pretty solid. Scammy? No, I don't feel that yet. I have to. It's weird to have to say that you have to keep going through it to determine whether it's useful or not. Some of the stuff is useful. Is the information given in these classes useful? Yeah. Can you find it somewhere else? Probably for free. Probably. But it's the basics. I mean, what else are you supposed to not say it because you can find it somewhere for free? So it's the basics, and I think it's valuable information, especially for novice models and actors. But what I've seen to be most valuable is that mock slating, mock acting, mock performance giving, mock audition. That practice auditioning is, I think, very useful to get that out of your nerves, even in front of people. To get that out because people are in there nervous, and to get that out of you, it helps you a lot to get used to that. Should you jump into John Casablancas? Should you sign up right away? First chance you get. I don't really think so. I don't think you should. I don't want to say you should wait on some more of my updates on how things are going. No, but I don't think you should be, because it really does depend on who you are. It does depend on who you are, and if you feel as though your personality is good enough for you to be able to attract people, and you're charismatic enough to be able to win auditions, and that's the same mentality you go into John Casablancas with, and with the practicing, hopefully it gets you there. But if you feel as though you can do that outside of outside of John Casablancas, then you might as well not sign up for it right now at this point. That's how I feel, really. It's like, if you don't think you can make it on YouTube to get people interested and indulged and want to indulge themselves in your content, then you're not going to be able to do anything with this John Casablancas seminar or in practice, because most of it is you. They don't promise you any work. Even if you graduate, they don't really promise you work. You get yourself work. Like, again, in the classes, they always remind me, at the beginning of the session, they always remind you to go to the job board, which have auditions and film events and auditions and stuff like that for modeling, and on a job board, a bunch of different stuff every time. Usually it's updated every once in a while. Check it out. There might be something new on there and stuff like that. So they tell you to do that, and you get potential work. But like, again, it depends on you. You get the work depending on you. And if you think you can get work, if you believe that you can, and you work on it, you're charismatic enough. I think that at the least you should look up, less expensive, or look up to see where you can compare acting schools or modeling schools. Like I said, I get paid about $72 a week. I pay $72 weekly to go to these classes. So you just do whatever the math is on that, and you go compare that to other schools and other acting schools that might give you credits and accredit you for something, and it might actually take you somewhere. I don't know if this place accredits you anything. Do you get credits? Do you get anything valuable outside of just the acting seminar, practice and information to use, for the industry and the career? I don't know. But if you can find somewhere else where you can, then I think you should do that. I don't think you should jump into this immediately. I think that it's nice to go through. Like I said in my first video, it's a feel good place. Are you really learning anything you can't learn anywhere else? Maybe not. But if you're trying to really get into this stuff, and this is supposed to be like a crash course in it, I see the value there. Does it feel like it's $72 worth of class yet? Not really. It doesn't feel like that at all. $72 a week. $72 a week. $72 a class. Not there yet. But I'll continue to go through it. If I feel as though the classes are dropping off in their consistency or their value, then I'll be like, it's probably not. You should pass on this. Maybe find some other means of going about acting and modeling. And do more on social media. If you can't get people to like you on social media, you can't get people to like you. You can't be charismatic on social media, then you're likely not going to do anything in John Casablancas or auditions through John Casablancas. So there's that. I don't think you should jump into it immediately. Is it a scam? No, I don't think it's really a scam. But I think that it's useful though. I think other than all of that stuff, I think it's useful. Don't think if it's not a financial if it's financially sustainable for you, it's financially good. It won't be a bill on you. It won't be detrimental. It won't stress you out to have to deal with that a week. Because I don't know how the cancellation thing is. I don't know how it is if I wanted to stop taking the classes. Will I owe money? Will I be in debt? I don't know how that works yet. I had to do a little bit more research and study into that. But, if it's not going to be a burden financially on you, maybe you should do it. It's 30 classes. Maybe you should look into it if it's not going to be a burden. But if you think if you're struggling right now and it might be a bit of a burden on you, you could take that leap, see where it gets you, helps you out, and see if it pushes you somewhere. I'm sure a lot of people do. But if it's a serious financial struggle with you right now, you should hold off and wait and explore other options. But that's just my update for now. Update 3 classes. That's most of what I wanted to get out. Alright, I think that's it. I think I put everything in there, right? Went over the acting, the practice, the performance. I think went over that, right? Yeah, that's right. Fun place though. It is often pretty fun and interesting to meet and see new people, but that's about it. Alright. Sigh out.